Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of podcast series by Managed CIA Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. I'm your host, Ishika Gautam, and today's episode focuses on vital aspect of the agricultural ecosystem, financial inclusion, and access to credit for farmers and rural entrepreneurs. We are joined by the founder of Finasyst Technology Private Limited, a startup that's bridging the financial gap in rural India through technology-driven solutions. Let's dive right into their story. To begin with, could you tell us a bit about yourself and your startup, sir?
Yeah, hi Shika. Thanks, NSCI, for considering us for this podcast. Yeah, I'll just tell something about Finasyst. So we were established in 2022, Finasyst Tech Private Limited, with the sole intention basically of providing financial inclusion for rural India. Because that is the part which needs focus as far as the financial inclusion is concerned. So that was the main reason why we started the Finasyst Tech Private Limited, and the whole idea was basically to have Finasyst Tech Private Limited as an real organization, and then under it we will develop some products. Like products which would help probably farmers, product which would help probably banks and the stakeholders in the value chain. So one of such products is a KrishiFin. So Finasyst had developed a product called KrishiFin, which actually is the flagship product when we say as far as the financial inclusion is concerned from the farmer's perspective. So that is how basically that is in short a bit about Finasyst and different products. Likewise, we have developed different products as well other than Finasyst. One is Inspect, or we call it as a Field Vision. Okay, another is Decision Business Rule Engine. So all this ultimately aims to facilitate easy access to finance to the farmers. Like this is in short basically about Finasyst.
How did this idea started? How you came up with this idea?
See, I belong to a farmer family, so rural part of Vidarbha. I know the hardship faced by the farmers. Though I was not directly involved in the farmer, but yes, my father was involved. So I've seen that regularly. We used to visit our farms and the village. So in the gatherings, we used to understand basically. And this is not only during our childhood, even last 5, 6 years back, also the same thing, and presently also, though the scale might not be the same. So I knew that there is a gap. Second thing, my co-founder, and also happens to my younger brother, like he is a 15 plus ex-banker who was into agri credit for 15 years. So he knows the banker's perspective.
Mm.
Okay. And he was looking after the particularly agri credit. So we had both the pain points with us, like what is the pain point with the farmer and what
Mm.
is the pain point with the banks also. It's not that bank don't want to lend, okay, but
Mm.
there were some certain gaps and pains which was required to be bridged. But they were not able to. The tech partner needed has to be someone who understands banking as well.
Mm.
Okay, I understand he would understand the pain points, but from the banker's perspective also he should understand. So they were not able to find out partner probably who would understand their language also. Okay.
Mm.
So we just one day we were discussing about this and he said these are the things. So I said, okay, fine. I mean, I was in and out in Andhra Pradesh always from the beginning. Okay. So sometimes I used to start something, then get into that, failed, again went back to the job, again started something. So that bug was always there, the entrepreneurship bug. So I told him, yes, and then why don't we try? Then you have a domain knowledge. I was also into financing for 20-25 years. So we understand that part. You have a very specific domain knowledge, and we can find our friends who can have a tech knowledge. Okay. So technology understanding. So we thought, okay, fine. I mean, let's go ahead here. I mean, this we know this is an issue. This is a bigger issue. So
Yeah.
why not solve it? So that is how it actually came into. It's like what Finasyst was born, and that time itself, this product KrishiFin came to our mind. Okay, the first thing what we have to build is KrishiFin. That is how the journey started.
Yes, sir. Totally agreed because access to credit has always been one of the biggest challenges for farmers and even for small agri entrepreneurs. It is good to see that Finasyst help bridge that financial gap, and it makes the process easier for them. In rural areas, many users may not be very familiar with digital platforms. How do you ensure transparency, security, and trust among your users, especially those who are less tech savvy, who don't use technology much?
And just give a gist of what the platform does, and probably this will make you understand how this trust and transparency things are taken care of. So, as I said, once we thought of developing KrishiFin as a product under Finasyst, we thought, see, reaching each and every farmer is a very difficult. Reaching each of them, you're making each of them understand how this web application work. You have to fill in certain details in that. Though it's a very small process. I mean, within 5 minutes it can be filled, but still, as you rightly said, the farmer is not tech savvy. So we thought, see, making a B2C model would be a very challenging thing. Okay, what is, we will have a B2B2C kind of model. Okay, wherein we will have a tie-ups with an existing agri-tech companies or anchors, what we say, or channel partners in general terms, who already has a farmer base. Okay, so what happens is this agri value added services or value to the existing farmers. Okay, so we thought, why not have a tie up with them? So we call them as our anchors. In general terms, as I said, it can be channel partners. So the anchors already has a farmer base. The farmers already know these guys who are in connect with these anchors. Okay, so we thought that, okay, fine, we will get this platform to the anchors, who in turn will onboard the farmers. Okay, so anchor is providing some other services to the farmers. If he can facilitate credit also through his own platform, which can be embedded with our platform, can be embedded into their platform. So then it would be a value addition for him also, because he is providing certain services to the farmer. At the same time, he is facilitating that his group of farmers for the credit. So we thought, okay, value addition from him as well. Farmer ka trust issue won't be there because he already knows that anchor. So it's a win-win situation for everyone, and we also don't have to directly reach the farmer. There is an anchor in between who already has a farmer. So this is how we built this model, and the stack was also built in such a way that there will be an anchor who would onboard the farmer. So this way, even if a farmer is not tech savvy, okay, this is a phygital journey for him. Partly physical, partly digital. Physical because field person of that anchor assists the farmer to get onboarded into a platform. So that is how the trust part is taken care of. Now the another trust is specifically when we onboard a farmer, there is an OTPs which goes. So this is a physical kind of thing. The farmer is sitting right in front of that person who is onboarding. OTP goes to the farmer, and farmer either enters or tells that person who is sitting in front of him the OTP. So there the trust as far as whom I'm giving the OTP and all that stuff is negated. So this is how the platform we have built is on the particular model, which helps in growing the business, acquiring the farmers, as well as it negates the trust and transparency issues. So this is, I hope, the way the platform is working would. So this
Yes,
is
sir.
how it is done. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It does. Transparency, security, and trust. That's great to hear. What kind of impact have you seen so far, whether it's on farmers or rural agents or lending institution using your platform?
So as I told, basically there are multiple stakeholders who are getting impacted. Okay.
Mm.
One is, of course, major one is the farmer, because this is ultimately the end user or the end beneficiary is the farmer. Okay. So a farmer is one of the beneficiaries. The another beneficiary is the agri-tech companies or an anchors, what we call. Okay. And third one is bank, because bank also has a PSL, priority sector lending requirements, and particularly specific part to the crop loans. But since banks could not reach everywhere, say for example 6 lakh villages across India and only 50,000 bank branches, so it's just impossible for bank also to reach each and every place. And in turn, it's an hardship for a farmer because the branches at places are not available. So banks in this way gets benefited because they need not have to increase probably the bank branches in future. Okay, so as far as the impact is concerned, yes, we went live around 1.5 years back, and around 8 to 9,000 farmers has been directly benefited through our platform, and almost 8 to 9 anchors who are an agri-tech companies,
Mm.
and we have almost 5 to 6 banks onboarded. So I know not a very big impact, but we feel good that we have at least reached this stage. Long way to go, but yes, I mean there we could see an impact has been created. Yeah, and we have disbursed 180 crores in during this period of time to the farmers. So going on to the path what we thought of basically.
Could you share any success story or a farmer's journey that truly highlights Finasyst impact, like in improving their financial access? Like someone has come to you and told you that this app literally helped them in a certain way.
I mean, lot of them, but
Mm.
a farmer's journey is, I mean, it's a hard journey. Like if you see his morning to night routine, he has to
Yes.
take up lot many things. Okay, in addition to the family responsibility. So farmers' success stories are never only based on financial benefits. There are certain emotional things also attached. As such a thing which has to be remembered as well. So there was one farmer in a very remote village of Maharashtra. He has been trying to get agri credit since last 1.5 to 2 months. It was a sowing season as well. It was very important for him to get credit in a particular time frame, because once the season goes, then he is behind the schedule, and it may turn into losses. At the same time, his wife was pregnant. Okay, so a young farmer. Okay, he was going through a lot of pressures. Like ek to sowing time. Like, and second, family responsibilities since his wife is pregnant. Or generally in a farmer's community, what happens? A small farmer. Okay, the whole family works in a farm. Okay, so even one person is less, like his since his wife was at advanced stage of pregnancy, so she could not come to the farm. So what happens is it's a hardship for him. One person got reduced as who was contributing to working into the farm. That was another pressure for him. Okay, so
Mm.
three things. One is he was not getting access to credit. Second thing, his wife was pregnant, so sowing time. And third thing, since his wife was pregnant, his one worker was reduced. So we had an anchor out there. We were very initial stage of when we launched this thing. So the anchor that time was one person, an individual. So he might have met him, a small village, so they're always interacting with each other. So he might have met him. Yeah, I have been trying this for 1.5 to 2 months. So he said, okay, I have a solution. I have the guys that they have built a platform who facilitate credit to the farmers. And the person whom we made an anchor was also taken credit from us. Okay, so
Mm.
that reputation was built with him. So he said that the farmer who was looking for a loan said, okay, fine, since I have been trying, why not I give a try out here? So he applied through this person who onboarded him on a platform, and his loan amount was disbursed in 3 days.
Oh.
Okay, everything was in line. Like, see, facilitating credit to a farmer, if things are in place properly, it's actually an easy process. So only the processes takes time.
Mm.
Okay, it's not that bank don't want to give or any other thing. The processes take time. Probably the bank person is not there who could visit that particular place and see
Yes.
whether that farm dealer. So this take time, but our system negates all these processes as well. In 3 days it was disbursed. We came to know it was. You won't believe, at 9:30 at night, I got a call from him saying, "Sir, I'm blessed with a baby." Fantastic. Sir, I also got a loan today. I'm blessed
Mm.
with a baby today. It's all because of you. Okay. I said, no, nothing like that. It just basically it happened so, like coincidence, like, no, no, but I have been trying for getting loans since last 1.5 years. You are my lucky mascot. I said, no, and nothing like that. See, these are the things what we probably feel that, yes, I mean, a real success story, like he himself calling once the baby was born, calling and telling us this is what has happened. I also got a loan disbursed today. Baby was born today. Wow, fantastic. I mean, so this joy, as I said, basically, there are two things. Yes, he got a loan. Okay, his sowing went on well, his harvesting went on well. no issues later on. Okay, but there
Yes.
was an emotional touch also to that. So these
Yes.
are certain success stories which we feel proud about. Like, fine, what we are doing is of course a business, as well as it's making an impact in a community, probably where it needs a lot. So that is how it is. Yeah. So that's a an important success story. What we thought, a lot of success story that was disbursed ho gaya loan and all the same in a short period of time. He went on well. Then next time, the other farmer took a larger loan, because if he gets credit on time, no, the things becomes easier for him. That is what. Yeah.
That's so great to hear, sir. Finasyst was also a part of Managed CIA incubation program, which supports innovative startups in the agri domain. How did this experience shape your startup's growth and overall direction?
See, if you are into agri-tech or agri startup, best incubation would be managed, because they are a pioneer into agri, right? I mean, they have seen agri, they are into extension, they know the things very well, they have the expertise, So we were very lucky that we got into an managed incubation, and at a stage when we're just building. The story is like, we participated in Agri Eureka 22. We were second runner up there. Okay, and that was the time only we established period of time we built some MVP, and we were on a testing stage of an MVP. So at very right stage we went into manage, and I would say that they have an expertise probably who would help in many phases. Like, one is understanding deep what agri startup should understand, basically the farmers need. One second thing is, yes, like, though experienced, but this is my first experience as a real startup. So there are a lot of things probably a corporate guy would not know when he gets into a startup. So that is what got to understand in a manage. And we were lucky, our incubation was the first one of post COVID, and it was 1.5 months offline and on campus training. So we were very lucky, because see, virtual meetings and one-on-one meetings makes a big difference. That's what
Yes.
I feel. Like, it makes a big difference. Networking, you can freely discuss. You are available. The team is available. You can anytime reach them and get the thing sorted out. So that was a fantastic experience with Manage, and they really help us in understanding how the product should grow. Okay, what are the things what one should take care of, how the business model really works. If you are an agri startup, if you are incubated with Manage, then you don't have to look anywhere else.
Among the different elements of the
So,
program, such as training sessions, business model refinement, and exposure visits, which part did you find most valuable for Finasyst?
okay, see, if you talk specifically for Finasyst, of course, the online sessions, and for us, it was one-on-one sessions, and the business product design and all that stuff was, of course, more helpful to us, because we were a tech-driven brand.
You have already made significant progress in the agri fintech space. What's
Yeah.
next for Finasyst Tech? Like, are you planning to expand into new geographies or introduce new financial services?
Oh, yes. See, when we are building a tech stack, we are always on a stage where we have to add certain things or add certain products to it. We can't just sit with one product and scale it up, like. So, since I have told, we are, most of the important aspect of the Agri-Finance, So, as I told, KrishiFin is a product which is specifically helping directly the farmers to get credit. But at the same time, we are also helping banks to expedite the process through technology interventions. Okay, so one such product is Field Vision, and we have also developed a product decision making for banks to give credit to it. Okay, so these are two products what we have already built. We are building certain more products, maybe into a space wherein we would get deeper into a real time, the disbursement to the farmer. Like, in urban areas, we have an IT return. Okay, you get a personal loan on a click of a button. So our
Yes.
aim is to build a product which would give a farm loan or crop loan to a farmer on a click of a button. Okay, that is what our mission is. Okay, and we are working towards it. Okay, and there are a lot of technologies that have come up, which would probably we would get into it. One of them is, as you know, basically a blockchain technology, right? So
Yes.
blockchain has a tokenization thing. Okay, once the tokenization things comes in, it would become super fast for a farmer to access credit because his land would get tokenized, his assets would get tokenized, even his products produced would commodity would get tokenized. Okay, really make the process very fast, and with a secured database. The thing, whatever is there, or his information is secured. So these are the things which we are thinking about. And yes, in future we may come up with the latest technologies would ultimately enable easy access to credit to the farmers and inclusion, financial inclusion of rural India. Yes, we are coming up with certain products and which would be in line with the technology and fast access of credit to the farmers. And of
So,
course, geographies, yes. We started with Maharashtra, we are into 5 states now, giving different services, as I said. So, yes, expanding geographies has to.
so I think your technology will reshape the future of rural credit and agri-finance in India in the coming years.
We also look forward to it, yeah.
Before we wrap up, what message would you like to share with aspiring agri entrepreneurs who want to innovate in the agri fintech space?
As I already mentioned, there are a lot of technologies which are coming up into agri-fintech space, blockchain technologies,
Mm.
tokenization with the help of blockchain. So, particularly for an agri fintech innovation, ultimately one thing is very clear that it has to benefit a certain larger part of the society. One. Second thing is the technology should be such that it should be easy to integrate and scale to the new technologies that are coming. So whenever at this stage we are thinking of building something in a fintech space, one should always think of how the latest technologies can be used in ultimately in future. This blockchain tokenization would come not very far, I mean within 3 4 years maybe. Okay, so the technology should be such that it should be able to integrate with the new technology, it should be scalable. Okay, and at an MVP stage, when we build something built in such a way that at least to a certain scale that product should work, like, because at MVP you don't have much of the resources to build the product, right? But your architecture has to be strong. The tech architecture has to be strong so that it can be scaled even after the MVP stage. So, and of course, get into an idea which really solve the problem of masses. You cannot think of, okay, fine, few people, if I am benefiting, then no, then it won't make sense. It should, particularly in the agri fintech sector, right? It should solve the problem of the masses. We are trying to solve the problem of credit to farmers. Okay, there can be lot many things. Even in this space also, there is a huge opportunity because such a big market. Like it can easily accommodate a lot of players in the same domain. So yes, build something which should help the farmers by using the technology.
You must be having so many challenges during your journey. So, what were some of the hurdles you faced and how did you overcome them?
So a lot of challenges. I mean, it's no easy journey. Like challenges from both personal and professional front while building the startup. Okay, so the challenges, like say for example, I mean, you are building something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So you should be ready to stick to the things which are not working. Okay, if something is not working, leave it aside, build the thing what you have learned from that failure. Like, so these are the things which one overcomes, basically through only one thing: perseverance. Man, if you have to believe, you have to have patience. Like, you have to stick to the plan, build the product. Thin line, pivoting and sticking to a solution is a thin line, but if you feel that yes, this is working, then even if there are a lot of challenges. See, small startup doesn't have financial resources. If I give my example, while building a stack, I'm not a tech guy. We have the domain experts. Okay, now getting a tech guy. Okay, so what we did was basically we had certain friends who were into tech, very experienced guys. Okay, so we took their help in building the architecture because at that time I even hired someone, right? So, and those were veterans in, so they helped us in building the architecture, and which was a very important thing because we gave them a vision that it should be scalable. So building the tech thing which was a main issue for us initially, becomes super easier. Once the architecture was built, yes, then we hired one or two guys, and with them we built later, means like further. Okay, but building technology was an issue with us initially. Okay, we thought I will tell something to a tech guy, whether he will be able to build what I want. And tech guy used to say, "Tell me what you want, I'll build." Because your
Yes.
tech guy won't understand a domain thing, and
Mm,
domain guy won't understand a tech thing initially. So
true.
there has to be a coordination. Okay,
Mm,
so that was a challenge initially. But now we have reached a stage where we say that two people, that you tell us what you want, we'll build in this particular domain. So, like the challenges comes every time. But when you overcome those challenges and look back to it, I'm telling you a story now, right? I'm laughing.
mm,
Correct.
yes.
After, because I've already overcome that challenge. Okay, and now
Yes.
I'm looking back to it. I've said, okay, fine, it was a challenge. We overcome it. Okay, come on, let's be ready for the next one, and it will keep coming. Side. So this is how I mean, you have to focus, be focused, stick to your plans, be ready to pivot if you feel the thing is not working. Okay, and get into certain incubations like manage, who would help us, or particular a startup should get into an incubation which is related to his field. Okay, for us, manage was related to our field. So get into an incubation with a correct incubator who would provide you a support, both in terms of understanding as well as financial. So yes, manage helped us in financial things also, because under their RKVY-RAFTAAR we were selected and we got funds. Yeah. So challenges would come. वो अपने आप one will easily understand how, at that time when he gets into it, he will understand how to get out of it also.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. It's truly inspiring to see how Finasyst technology is contributing to financial inclusion and supporting the growth of India's agriculture ecosystem through innovation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ishika. Just while discussing, I remembered one word from a CEO of Manage CI. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Sarvanan sir. Yes, yes. So
Yes.
the biggest entrepreneur is a farmer. Okay, and I still remember those words from him, because like he gets into a farming. Okay,
Mm,
he fails. Next season he again gets into it. Probably at that time he succeeds or he fails. Next time still he gets into it. He keeps trying, right? Reason being, there is a perseverance. Like he has a belief in him. This, yes, this would work. you know so
yes.
those are the words what I thought basically would help each of them. Any agri entrepreneur, you should remember this. Like ultimately you should strive to help that entrepreneur who is the biggest entrepreneur, to facilitate in any way you can do through your product. I mean, yes. So thanks a lot. Thank you.
Mhm. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Manage CIS YouTube channel for more insightful conversations with inspiring agri startups. This is Ishika Gautam signing off. See you in the next episode.